Hello and welcome to English Pod Studio. I'm very happy you are here today. This podcast will help you practice English listening. You will hear clear and simple English that is easy to understand. You can listen, learn new words, and think about your own life while practicing. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that many learners worry about. The topic is why mistakes are good for learning. Yes, mistakes are not bad. They are actually very helpful. Many people think mistakes mean failure, but in truth, mistakes are steps on the way to success. When you learn English, it is normal to make mistakes. Maybe you say a word in the wrong way. Maybe you forget a grammar rule. Maybe you write something that is not correct. These things happen to everyone. Some learners feel shy or afraid when this happens. They think, I am not good enough. But that is not true. Mistakes are a natural part of the process. Think about when you were a child learning to walk. Did you walk perfectly the first time? No, of course not. You tried, you fell, and you stood up again. Each fall was not a failure. Each fall was practice, and after many tries, you learned to walk. The same is true with language. Each mistake is practice. Each mistake is a step forward. Mistakes are like small teachers. They show you where you need to improve. They give you information. For example, if you say, "He go to school yesterday," and someone corrects you, you learn that it should be, "He went to school yesterday." That correction helps you grow. Without making the mistake, you may not have learned the correct form. I remember when I first learned another language, I was nervous about speaking. I wanted to sound perfect. But then I realized, if I stay silent, I learn nothing. If I speak and make mistakes, I learn something new each time. This changed my attitude. Instead of fearing mistakes, I started to welcome them. Now let's look at some examples, stories, and strategies that show how mistakes can help us grow. Let's start with a simple story. I had a student named Maria. She was very shy. She always worried about speaking English in class. She thought, if I make a mistake, people will laugh at me. One day she decided to try. She raised her hand and said, "Yesterday I go to the park." Of course, the sentence was not perfect. But the teacher smiled and gently corrected her. "Yesterday I went to the park." Maria learned two things that day. First, she learned the correct past tense. Second, she learned that making a mistake was not scary. No one laughed. Instead, she improved. After that, Maria started speaking more often and her English became better and better. This story shows us something important. Mistakes give us a chance to learn and improve. If Maria had stayed quiet, she would never have learned. By trying and making a mistake, she moved forward. Here is another example. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You try and you fall. Each fall teaches you balance. Each fall brings you closer to success. In the same way, each mistake in English brings you closer to fluency. Now let's talk about some strategies to use your mistakes in a positive way. The first strategy is, don't hide your mistakes. Many learners try to stay quiet so they don't make errors, but this stops your progress. Instead, speak, write, and try. Even if it is not perfect, it is practice. The second strategy is listen to feedback. When your teacher or a friend corrects you, don't feel bad. See it as a gift. Correction is information. It shows you where to improve. The third strategy is write down your mistakes. Keep a small notebook. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you, write it down. For example, write, "I said, he go to school." Correct, he goes to school. Review this notebook often. Slowly you will stop making the same mistakes. The fourth strategy is practice again and again. If you make a mistake, don't stop there. Repeat the correct form many times until it feels natural. For example, if you made a mistake with the word yesterday, practice 10 sentences with it. Yesterday I played football. Yesterday I watched TV. Yesterday I cooked dinner. Repetition helps your brain remember. The fifth strategy is change your attitude toward mistakes. Instead of thinking, "Oh no, I made a mistake," try to think, "Great, I found something new to learn." This simple change in thinking makes a big difference. Another helpful tip is to learn from other people's mistakes. Listen carefully when other learners speak. If they make a mistake and the teacher corrects it, you can learn too. This way, you grow without even making the mistake yourself. Remember, mistakes are not the end. They are the beginning of learning. Each mistake is like a small step up a staircase. The more steps you take, the higher you go. Now, let's talk about confidence, motivation, and a final message for you. First, let's think about confidence. Many learners feel nervous when they speak English. They are afraid that people will notice their mistakes. But the truth is, confidence does not come from being perfect. Confidence comes from trying again and again, even when you are not perfect. Every time you speak, you get a little stronger. Every mistake you make and correct makes you braver. Imagine this. You are talking to a friend in English. You say, "She go to work every day." Your friend says kindly, "Oh, you mean, she goes to work every day." At that moment, you have two choices. You can feel shy and stop talking, or you can smile and repeat the correct sentence. If you choose the second option, you grow in confidence. You show yourself that mistakes are not scary. Second, let's talk about motivation. Sometimes mistakes can make us feel tired. You study, you try, but you still make errors. You may think, "I will never be good at English," but this is not true. Mistakes mean you are learning. Remember, no one learns without mistakes. Think about a baby learning to walk. The baby falls many times, but the baby never gives up. And finally, the baby walks. You are the same. If you keep practicing, keep trying, you will succeed. Here is a simple idea. Celebrate your mistakes. Each mistake means you are learning something new. You can even smile and say to yourself, "Good, I found something to improve." This positive attitude will give you more energy to continue. Now, let's do a quick recap of what we learned in this podcast. 1. Mistakes are a normal part of learning. Everyone makes them. 2. Mistakes help us learn faster because they show us where we need to improve. 3. We should not hide from mistakes, but use them as tools. 4. Writing down mistakes, repeating the correct forms, and listening to feedback are powerful ways to grow. 5. Mistakes do not mean failure. They mean progress. So the next time you make a mistake in English, don't feel sad, feel proud. It means you are learning. Before we finish, I want to give you a message. Don't give up. Learning English takes time. It is a long road, but every small step you take matters. Every word you practice, every sentence you speak, and yes, every mistake you make brings you closer to fluency. So keep going, keep practicing, be kind to yourself. And remember, mistakes are not the enemy. Mistakes are your teacher. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this podcast helped you see mistakes in a new way. If you enjoyed this episode, keep practicing with us here at English Pod Studio, where you can listen, learn, and grow every day. Take care, stay confident, and keep learning. See you next time.